friends, it's Belinda here from Bee Making Joy, and I'm going to show you how to wind a hank into a ball by hand. Usually hand-dyed yarn comes wrapped in a hank like this, not like these skeins and balls you find in the commercial store. This one is unique fingering weight yarn. It's a hand-dyed self-striping merino yarn. The hanks come all twisted up. We untwist them. And you can't knit directly from the hank, of course, because you can see how easily it would get tangled. So we need to wind it into a ball. The hanks are attached by these little yarns to hold it in place to keep it from getting tangled in transit. So the first thing we need to do is snip those. So there, we got all those out. I enjoy this process so much. I love playing with the yarn. I'm going to put it on the back of 2 chairs to keep it from getting tangled while we do this. And then we find the end. Start untwisting it. And then we start rolling it into a ball. So I start on my hand. Wrap it around a whole lot on the hand. And while we're doing this, we need to be careful that we're not pulling it tight. We don't want the yarn to stretch. Now let me give you a glimpse of what we're making with this. This is a kit that I ordered from Mary Maxime, Canada. They're based in Ontario. Actually, my daughter bought it and asked me to make it for her. It's a very complicated pattern. The pattern booklet is 7 pages long. But it is gorgeous. It's so much fun to work with. It starts at the center here and works downward. And that's looking so good on the camera. Oh, lovely. Once I have a lot wrapped on my yarn, on my hand, I'm going to slip it off and start wrapping it the other way. And then after I've gone that way quite a bit, I'm going to start going this way. So the center of my ball is all squished up, and then it's actually going to start forming a ball shape. I love the feel of the yarn running through my fingers. So now I'm going to keep slowly turning the ball in my fingers as I do it, so that I'm evenly spreading the yarn out. And again, being careful not to stretch it while I do that. While I have the pattern in front of me, I want to show you a tip that I use to mark my place in the pattern. I've got two magnetic strips, one on the front of the page and one on the back. And I slide them down as I do each line of the pattern. Whoops! Hope the floor is clean. I love how this yarn is changing colors. I love variegated yarn. I haven't done many projects recently with variegated yarn. I'm really enjoying this one. Knitting along and then surprise, it's a new color. Let's see if the camera can pick up the sound. So satisfying. I had to stop and untangle it because I took too many loops off the chair and then they tangled up on the floor. I'm gonna try and zoom that camera in. there's a knot. It was joined. At least they joined the right color to the right color. You just don't want a ball yarn where it suddenly changes color with no pattern. I love how they gradually change color, from a light gray to a darker gray and into green. It's not just a sudden change, it's one day I'm going to try dyeing yarn. It sounds like so much fun. And then whoop, we're gray again. Nice to predict where the colors are going to fall on this shawl. Feels like a different color scheme than the first ball. The first ball had a lot of darker blues in it. And some of the blues were too close to my contrast color. It looks like the further out the shawl you get, the more interesting it's going to get. I love watching the shawl grow. The ball's getting bigger and harder to hold on to. Closer to the end of it, it's going to take a little more attention to make sure it's not tangling those last few strands around the chair. The last one I did, I had to stop and untangle the hank. Wasn't this yarn though. There. Nice. Yeah, that went wonderfully. Isn't that gorgeous? Thank you for watching that. I'm new to this YouTube thing, so it would be so encouraging if you would click that like button. And if you'd like to see what I get up to next, click the subscribe button. Thank you. This was Belinda from Bee Making Joy. And you can check out my knitting patterns on Ravelry and Etsy under Bee Making Joy and the name Belinda Rewicki. Thank you. Goodbye.